was because of the ruling party of Hitler was on his way. So that's why they had to face a lot of problem in the struggle. And that's why even she has a large family, father, mother, brother, sister, and very dear from the grandmother. But in spite of all, Anne Frank always feels alone in her family. So why she feels alone? What is there? It is mentioned in the uh, lesson from the diary of Anne Frank. Anne Frank feels alone, and that's why she decides to find her true friend in her diary. She maintained a diary and named it Kitty to remove her loneliness till she gets a closer friend to her to share her problem and feelings. And now everything was going on well, and she mentioned things about her family in the diary that she has adorable father, mother, grandmother, and everybody. And there was the rehabilitation, and one by one they went to Holland, and there was and also about the education. And the most important point is that the school education. And during the school education, she got well in the early education, where there was uh, plentiful things happen with and primary section. But later on, when she joined the upper section, she find a teacher uh, belong to math who was old and foolish in nature and does not like talking too much in the class. And it was none other but Mr. Casey. As we also know that mathematics teacher or science teacher is strict and always a limited one. But any Frank talks too much in the class, so that's why Mr. Casey always annoyed with Henny Frank and gives her extra homework on the topic of like that chatterbox and sometimes an incorrigible chatterbox, and it was too much for her, but somehow she manages to write the things on the particular subject. And after all, she tells Mr. Casing that she cannot make a difference in the inherited traits whatever she has got from her mother because her mother also talked very much, but she does not talk so much in the class. Penny Frank always manages the homework that was assigned by Mr. Casing, and she wrote something about it. And when Mr. Casing found the note, he looks it and finally send it back. And finally, Mr. Casing got too angry and gave her the work, and in which she uh, find it so much boring to write. But finally, she finds her friend Shan, whose poetry is good, and that is why help any friend to compose the story in a verse. And that was the fantastic story as far as the related the chapter is concerned. In this story, it was mentioned about a father, swan, and a mother duck with three baby ducklings. The father killed her. The father killed the ducklings because they quacked too much in the class. And Mr. Casing fortunately read the story and also presented it in many other classes. Since then, Annie Frank was allowed to speak in the class and talk in the class, and Mr. Casing himself cracked a joke in the class. So, this was the story which was the most important one for this chapter. And these are the important questions based on this chapter Why did Annie Frank maintain a diary? Annie Frank maintained a diary because she had no true friend to discuss her problems or feelings. And there is the second one, the question: how does Annie Frank feels writing in a diary? Annie Frank feels a very strange writing in a diary because nobody will trust on her story that a 13-year schoolgirl can be alone in a family. A paper has more patience than its people. कागज में जो लिखी हुई चीजें इंसान से ज्यादा टिकाऊ होती हैं. Because Annie Frank feels in her life that the man always changes with the time, while the written things in the diary or somewhere is never changes with the time. So that's why she prefers the saying a paper has more patience the people and she maintains a diary for it. And the next question is who was Mr. Casing? Why did he punish Annie Frank again and again? Mr. Casing was my teacher. He was old and fuzzy in nature. He punishes Annie Frank again and again for talking much in the class. So these are the short one questions and I have discussed and later I have discussed after it along with few other important questions. Till then I shall stop myself because of the important work and see you later. Till then good night to all of you.